She will open the floor for questions. One interviews after the press questions that are not related to this, send an email to kpdpio@kissimmee.gov. At the end of the press conference, you will receive a package with information about the case. Now, Betty Holland.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today and allowing us to provide an update on our investigation into Madeline Soto's disappearance and death. Madeline was reported missing on Monday, February 26, 2024, just one day after her 13th birthday. Since then, our investigation has been relentless, fueled by the unwavering commitment to uncover the truth. During our forensic investigation, we uncovered disturbing evidence, graphic images, and videos depicting crimes being committed. It was during this examination that we learned we needed to act swiftly to remove the suspect, Stefan Stearns, from our streets. Despite the arrest, our investigation into her disappearance remained ongoing. We understand the importance of thoroughly exploring every lead and piece of evidence. The Kissimmee Police Department, along with other law enforcement agencies in Central Florida, continue their search for Madeline for the next several days following her disappearance, and we turn to the public for help. During this time, our investigators combed through a significant number of tips, and on March 1st, we received information placing Stearns' vehicle in a rural area of St. Cloud, where ultimately Madeline's body was discovered. We are all deeply saddened by the outcome of Madeline's disappearance. The Kissimmee Police Department continues to piece together the timeline leading up to the events that occurred. I want to address some questions we are receiving from the media in everyone's effort to keep the community up to date on this tragedy. At this time, Stearns is facing a total of 60 charges related to our investigation. This includes sexual battery, lewd and lascivious molestation, and unlawful possession of materials depicting sexual performance by a child. These charges reflect the meticulous work of our law enforcement community. Our detectives also are working closely with the State's Attorney's Office for the 9th Judicial Circuit and the Medical Examiner's Office on the investigation. Death investigations are complex. Tasks like forensic analysis and thorough interviews are crucial and require careful attention. It is vital to address these misconceptions in the pursuit of justice while preserving the integrity to the case. During an investigation such as this one, we gather additional information from individuals close to the deceased. Each person interviewed is treated as involved until proven otherwise. This is a standard protocol to ensure all the facts are uncovered. During our investigation, we have interviewed many individuals. Each interview has been vital to our understanding of the case. We are reviewing all of the information we received and are following up on every lead. Attention to detail and the diligence are the most important aspects of this investigation. We are committed to transparency and will provide updates when possible. Madeline's story has touched the hearts of many. Rest assured, our department is diligently working on the investigation. And while we appreciate the public's interest, we must prioritize the integrity of the investigation. We appreciate your support and understanding as we gather the facts. We intend to release additional information in the future, providing more details that we do not compromise the ongoing investigation. We vow to do everything in our power to ensure Madeline's memory is honored with justice. Our detectives are dedicated to pursuing every lead, uncovering every fact, and holding those responsible accountable. Now I will open it up for any questions.
Chief, I have a question. We know that you're working behind the scenes during this investigation to make sure everything is in order, but what can you tell us new today that we don't already know?
I don't have anything new that you don't already know, other than our detectives are working tirelessly day in and day out to ensure, all the facts are uncovered in this investigation.
Chief Holland, is the mother a suspect or a person of interest in this investigation? And also with the videos that you uncovered, is there any evidence of the mother's involvement on any of these videos?
So everyone that was close to Madeline is considered suspect until we have proven otherwise.
Chief, how close are we able to know what actually happened to Madeline Soto?
Well, this
Well,
is
that's
a
kind of
very
odd.
sensitive and, it's very intricate. We want to make sure that we uncover every single fact and all the evidence before, we don't want to put a timeline on it, basically, because the detectives are very meticulous in what they do. And we want to be sure that everything is uncovered that possibly can. No, ma'am, we are still waiting on the medical examiner's report.
Chief, do you believe Maddie was killed inside of the family's home or somewhere else?
We're still uncovering all of those details. I'm not going to speculate on that until we have the facts.
Chief, can you tell us if Stephen Stearns acted alone in all of this?
We're still uncovering all the evidence. I don't want to speculate whether he was or not. We will wait until the investigation, is completed to make that determination.
Has Stephen Stearns said he acted alone, or what has he said in interviews with you? Since we know he's in jail.
Yes.
What has he told you about other people's involvement, if any?
He has invoked his right to a lawyer, so we have not spoke with him.
Is there any time that you can expect an update for us? The public is asking every single day, and we understand that you're working on the investigation, but we would like to hear from something.
I don't want to rush my detectives. I think it's paramount that they take their time. And, Mr. Stearns is not going anywhere. He's in jail and he's going to be there for a while. So my detectives, I want them to be, just look at every single detail and make sure. But I don't want to give a timeline at this point.
Chief, you mentioned you're working closely with the medical examiner. What does that relationship kind of look like, and what information are they able to release to you before that exam is complete?
So not really. I wouldn't say that they've released an information. We depend on the medical examiner's report for our report. So we're going to have to wait until they release that report.
Do you believe there are any additional victims?
No, it appears that this all was isolated to the home.
Chief, I'm still trying to get a sense of things. Do you still feel like you have more questions than answers at this point?
What's up,
I
Lumpy?
think our questions are being answered slowly
Well,
but surely.
What's up, man?
For the integrity of the investigation.
nothing.
of
Yeah,
the
nothing really new, huh?
close,
Kind of
until
weird.
Yeah,
We don't
nothing.
have the
we
ME
hold those
report yet.
accountable for her death.
Chief, do you feel like this is taking longer than it should because Stearns is not speaking?
No, I just think that, sometimes these investigations are just very lengthy. We know that he is in jail and he is not going anywhere. So the detectives are just making sure they cross cross the T's and dot their I's. They want to put together, a foolproof investigation.
Chief, is the mother and the family members being cooperative and answering questions? Have they lawyered up? And also the father of Madeline, who is not a Florida
Who's
resident,
asking about the mom and dad?
being asked questions.
We have interviewed, all those family members that are close. Mother has cooperated. She did give us an interview. So there's, no one is not cooperating other than Stearns.
We know that the crimes were committed in the home. We also have, the date of birth.
Yeah, rumor here around town is the mom's MIA. She hasn't been seen. She's like in hiding or went
Right.
away from the
So all
area.
of the charges are with children under the age of 18, and they are protected. Their identity is protected under the law.
Makes you wonder why the hell she left, unless it's just because she doesn't want to be in the house or be in that area. You know what I mean?
Nobody knows exactly what happened to Madeline.
Yeah,
Maybe it's like
I'm sure she's
maybe it's
getting
like
shit
a
on.
Someone's gonna face charge for the murder of
Yeah, she's
Madeline.
getting,
When the detectives put
everyone's
their
after
case
her right now.
together,
Everyone's like
like I said
accusing her
before, they
too. So I
want
mean, I can
to
see a little
ensure
bit, but
their investigation is
yeah, man,
tight.
it's
right.
They're
kind
working,
of strange
hand in hand
not
with
to
the
be
state
out there at
attorney's
all.
office to ensure, every piece of evidence is revealed and uncovered. So I can't put a timeline on when
In
that might
that
happen.
reporter before asked, he asked about her and the biological dad, and
At least that's what
she,
we understand.
that's kind of a vague. I've never heard of everyone's a suspect when they have him and all this supposed
Right.
evidence.
It says he offered his phone
And
when
then
they already have
everyone's
him
still
arrested
a
for it and
suspect.
charged with it, you know?
Have a tough time
Yeah.
understanding how somebody who's been arrested for
A little
something like
strange.
freely gives a phone up again.
Well, I don't know the intricate details of, I do know that the Orange County Sheriff's Office and Kissimmee Police Department were working hand in hand, during, the actual disappearance investigation. So I don't want to speak on exactly how that happened, but it's not uncommon for us to ask um, someone if they want to, give up their phone.
Chief, is there anything in particular that keeps you up at night regarding this case?
Well, a lot of things keep me up at night. My takeaway from this is talk to your children, families, talk to your kids. Know that there are agencies out there, the abuse hotline, help now, that people can report suspicion to. And I would encourage mothers and fathers to have those conversations with the kids and be aware.
Last question. Last question.
Have you guys investigated this family before?
Not for anything like this, no, ma'am.
I'm sorry, can we just confirm how long that relationship was, the mother and the stepmother?
That is still being under investigation. We're trying to get the timeline for that.
Chief, I have one more question. This is a case that became really big out of nowhere for a lot of people, but what has the department learned through all of this so far?
Well, this was a very tragic event. I think that, like I said earlier, it's up to us, up to each family member to have those conversations with your kids and report any suspicion of abuse to your school resource officer, to an adult that's a trusted adult, to any police officer that's out there. So just report it and let the law enforcement community investigate. Okay. Thank you.
Well, then, is that it?
I mean, I guess it was a good PSA to hold your kids and pay more attention to their lives. But dang, man, that
Everybody's
was
a suspect till they're not. So there's that. Mom's cooperating, but she's still a suspect, huh? So there's that.
yeah. Everyone's cooperating except for Stefan.
Yep. Well, he's the one that's, where
Yeah,
he needs
nothing
to be.
new. Hmm. Yeah, everyone. I was looking at the thing. Everyone has like so crazy clickbait titles for this news conference too, man. I was like, man, this thing's crazy. It's gonna be epic, or like some big revelation's gonna come out, or at least some new charges or something.
I just
Because
figured they were gonna I just figured they would if they were gonna arrest mom, it would be for something like lying to the police by, about text messages, or what I'm saying, about the time she got off work or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
or like impeding an investigation or something.
yeah, like, what I'm saying, trying to lie about whatever time, to not to so much cover for him, but because she, you know what I mean? Like, she just,
Yeah.
she just seems like somebody that he would be lie to her and she would believe everything he said. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
very gullible or whatever, like she would tell a story and believe that story, believe, whatever he told her, and, tell the police the same thing. And then they, arrest her or whatever, because it's, she had lied or whatever. But that's kind of what I was getting at. But
yeah. I mean, it makes sense. You don't, and I mean, honestly, you don't want to believe that. But I mean, dang, man,
right,
if it was going on that long, and I mean, how well do you really know your daughter then? I mean, if you're not picking up on any of these signs or anything,
right,
I
right.
mean, that's the weird part to me. If there is one, I hate to look at it like that. But I mean, man, if half this stuff is true, it's years. So I don't know. It's kind of sad for sure. But yeah, I think parents just need to
Yeah,
be more involved in their kids' stuff, especially when it comes to when you bring someone into the home like that. I mean, I personally, when I was younger, I never wanted to date someone with a kid, just for my own selfish reason, as in I didn't want
Right.
any attention not to be with me, you know? So I know I understood you have a kid, that they're your first priority. So I always looked at when I was dating women, I never wanted to date someone with a kid for that very reason. But then you have other people that are wanting to do that for various reasons, and you got to be careful out there. You really got to be careful. And
Well,
with
yeah,
them,
because there's been like in some of these cases, and I hate to say this, and I will put a trigger warning up just because I don't want to,
no, St. Elmo's fire. She was not arrested.
no, she was not arrested. I'm just saying, like some of these, like I said, I'm gonna put that up there. Um, some of these men get with women who have daughters, specifically to do things like that. They prey on women like that, or you know what I'm saying? Like they seek them out, and you know what I'm saying? They're
Oh yeah,
predators.
no,
What they do. So you really have to be careful. You really have to watch who you bring in your house around your babies, because they're predators straight up.
yeah,
And that's messed up. Like it is, it's very messed up.
it is because when you look at just a normal relationship, she doesn't want to believe that. I mean, she's
Right.
like,
No,
if
well,
she's in
nobody
love
would,
with him and not believing that, it's just that adds a whole nother dynamic to the thing too. Because then she's in denial, and I felt like at the beginning when everyone was on her about saying we and stuff, I feel like
Right.
just that's what they're a couple. You kind of say that, but she did say it was him that dropped her. It wasn't like she was hiding it. It was just like a normal response. Um, I
Right.
say we, us all the time when I'm just describing stuff. Speaking of me and my girlfriend, um,
Right.
I don't know. And it's hard, like you said, she may have other underlying and like a dependency. A lot of people have that on their partner and stuff, and they just don't want to believe it. It's hard to believe in some cases. I mean, this guy obviously, it might not have been too hard to believe because he seemed kind of weird from all the accounts of stuff. But she
Right.
might not be privy to all the information that supposedly has happened in the past. So, I mean, and
Well, and she, like I said, she seems like she's like a gullible. She's like very gullible. She believes what she seems to be told. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
This was made by Court TV. Says investigating life and death of Madeline Soto, Steven Stearns, and jail calls. You want to listen to it? Some of it.
25th was Madeline
yeah,
Soto's 13th birthday party, a big day in any child's life, celebrating the end of one phase and the start of the next, the teenage years. But tragically for Madeline, this was not the beginning of her teenage years. It was the end of her life. She was reported missing the next day by her mother, Jen, and investigators believe she was already dead by 8:19 that morning. But that doesn't match the story given by the main suspect, Stephen Stearns, Jen's live-in boyfriend. He says he dropped Madeline off at school, a story Jen repeated to police and to the public in television interviews.
See what I mean? She was repeating what she was told.
yeah. I mean, she doesn't have the knowledge. She wasn't there, so he told her
Exactly.
this
So
version, and
he,
she took it as gospel just because she loves him and didn't
exactly.
think that he did anything to
Uh-huh. And that's what I'm
allegedly.
saying. I think that's why she repeated it like that, because she really believes that he was telling the truth, even though he's a lying sack of you know what I'm saying? I don't think that's the first thing she wanted to believe or go to, of course not. I mean, but it just seems
Yeah.
like she's very gullible to what he says. She believes what he says. But when she said that they left that morning at 8, it's kind of odd that she says that, because obviously they're saying she passed before then.
Yeah, exactly.
Tonight, we will take you to Madeline's neighborhood and retrace the alleged steps and route taken by Stephen Stearns on the morning of February 26th. Does this story make sense? And does it match some of the known evidence in the case? What was captured on surveillance cameras? Where was the car located? Does the timeline fit? We'll bring in our experts looking for answers as we continue to investigate the tragic life and death of Madeline Soto. I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments as we continue our in-depth coverage of the disappearance and then murder of Madeline Soto. She is an innocent victim in all of this. She did nothing wrong. According to investigators, she began to be sexually abused and victimized at the age of 8 years old.
Now, see, that is so sad and so. Fuck. You know, I'm sure, you know, when you say her mom disappeared, I mean, fuck, could you imagine not only learning that your boyfriend did this, took your daughter's life, but then to find out that he abused her from the time she was 8 years old, to look back on like all them birthdays and all them just, you know what I'm saying, times you guys were at home together or whatever, just any kind of memories. I'm sure it probably was a huge mind fuck. I'm sure it was a huge mind fuck.
Yeah. Well, I know. I mean, I never. Did anyone definitely say how long they've been together? Like, I never. I hear so many variations of that, but I mean, obviously, it's at least 5 years. If
Oh, you know what? I'm
she's
not,
included.
yeah. I mean, what's up, voice? Is this you?
Yep, it's me.
Because
Okay.
that had to have been from the get-go, from the jump, from he started
From when
that
they
right
very
when
first
he.
started dating. See,
Yeah.
I thought they said they started dating when she was 5 or 6. Because I thought they said she was 12, so that would have been 4 years, and I thought they dated 5 or 6 years.
So it could have been, from the jump.
Right.
How
From the
crazy
very
is that?
first, yeah, he met them and immediately started in with her.
That's just, it's almost like, I agree with you, Queen, that the mom seems very naive in that.
Yeah.
And it almost, like, it just shows, in my opinion, looking at it, it seems like he almost sought out that type of individual, one that would buy whatever story you tell so that he would have this access. Again, that's my opinion looking at it.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt he targeted her for that very reason.
Yeah, and you know what really is really bothersome is, she was at that age where she was starting her, becoming a lady, and she probably had questions, up until that point. I'm sure she probably believed whatever she was told. Like I'm sure told her it was normal or whatever, whatever predators, use on their victims. I mean, because I don't know, but whatever it is they say, I'm sure she was at that point, at that age, she started questioning, this isn't normal. This isn't supposed to happen or whatever. And it makes me wonder if she didn't start questioning and he's like, oh no.
Yeah, or like she felt empowered after her 13th birthday. It's like,
Right.
and maybe made the mistake, said, "I'm telling mom," or I'm
agree.
telling whoever about this. Has to stop or something. And
Yep. Because that'd be, 13 is 13's a rough age for it, and especially this day and age, like with social media and phones and.
Oh yeah, you're grown up by that time. I mean, with a lot of stuff.
Right?
Yeah. They're growing up in a whole different world than we are, than we did. You know what I'm saying? And it's
it's
kind of
too
fuck.
fast. Too fast.
What's up, Ro?
Hi.
How are
Well,
you,
another
love?
thing is that these predators, sorry, my voice is a little trembling. It's so sad. These predators, they groom the parents. They groom them first, and there's the thing, and it's, you get, befriend the child, to get close, or, to get close to the mom, that kind of thing. And as far as this press conference, you know, we all have questions, and especially about mom and all the things. I can't imagine how many questions are coming in. So, yeah, I think it was a clickbait title, but in the same respect, I'm glad they did come out and say something that said, "Hey, we're still looking into this." Everyone that played a role in her part is a suspect. So that kind of, without coming out and saying it, kind of answers a couple questions for me. Um, but I mean, I'm glad they came out and said something. I just wish it wouldn't have been such a clickbaity title. Maybe a update or whatever. But I mean, we all scream that we want news about Summer Wells, and they don't say anything. But there's nothing. So yeah, there really wasn't an update. But you know what I mean. But for this many years, the age of her, being 13, at 8, you don't have, those teenage, friends, to where she could have told one of her little
I
friend,
agree.
one of her little friends what was happening, and then, you know what I mean? Like you know, she could have gotten strong and brave enough to break her silence and realize, hey, no, this isn't normal. I was told it was normal since I was 8, but this isn't normal. This isn't, you
Right.
know. So I just,
Yeah, someone brought up we're not doing enough to protect the kids. I think that I think it was Michigan where the kid pew-pewed and the parents got charged with it.
The
Maybe,
Crumbly kid, yes.
yeah, maybe if parents start
They were
getting
actually just
charged,
sentenced,
being held
wasn't they?
responsible, were they?
They were just found guilty. They were
mhm,
both of
Yeah.
them were just found guilty.
yeah,
They
Daddy
may
got
have
found
to do this
last
in a
week.
case like that, you know? I mean, it's kind of like that too. I mean, if you look at certain cases, if the mother turned a blind eye, or if not just her, I'm just saying a mother in general, and this happens, I mean, they need to look at maybe charging the mother for something, you know, for introducing the guy there, and they're not. I don't know. Maybe just a thought.
And, I don't know. But anyway, I just want to say that I'm not hot back down. But, I don't agree with the clickbait title, and I wish they would just put, update on her case without making it look like there's new charges, and I don't like that. But I am glad that they came out and made a statement, and without being able to, and I think they are being very, and that's all I care about is her justice. You know what I mean? We're not owed anything, and I don't want anything being told of it's gonna jeopardize, her case. And but I can't imagine how many, if we're crying out, going, "Where's mom?" Because look, none of us wanna, and I'm just gonna be honest. I don't want to ever, like, bash a parent or whatever. But I am a human being. I am a mother, and I do have, feelings and thoughts and opinions. So I can't imagine how many questions they're getting, and we don't know. This might have just been a little warm up of, hey, hold on, what you got? Because next week we letting it all out. Um, I don't know. Yeah, like Kia, if they would have just called it like a status conference, her case, whatever, instead of making it seem, that way. But as far as mom, broken women, they're preyed on,
And
and
they,
I,
yeah, they are.
they are, and they're groomed just like the child is groomed. They are groomed as well, and we don't know behind the scenes. Do I have feelings about it? Sure do. Will I say them up here? Sure won't. But
Right.
so he's a monster. We'll find the other monsters if there are any other monsters. But I can't, like Queen said, I can't imagine, knowing that my child's gone, knowing that somebody I laid next to did it, and then everything else coming out. I hope and pray to God she didn't know, and didn't say anything. You know what I mean? Because if she did, then
Right.
she's a monster. She's just as big as monsters. But I don't know that. We don't know that. We know he's a monster. So, and there's no telling. Look at how just like innocent family members, how parents that look at Brandy Neal, how she is been attacked. Okay, look at that. Can you imagine the amount of hate that Madeline's mother's getting? I can't imagine. There's no telling the death threats and the crazy weirdos. They might be trying to keep her safe. Now one thing I did pick up on is, during the press conference, they said she did give us an interview. An interview means one interview. So I don't know, but that's their deal. I don't want them telling us anything that would jeopardize the case. But he's a monster. I really, this is when jail justice. I hope he never even gets to prison. Don't even waste the money on the trial. It just needs to just take care of it. He's a monster. Sorry, not sorry. Just take care of it. And she should lawyer up. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I would lawyer up quick. Trust and believe. I mean, I don't think that's wrong of her to do at all. I don't think it shows guilt. I think it shows smart. She definitely needs a lawyer. But anyway. But I'm gonna hop back down. But yeah, the press conference, yeah, and we all want stuff at a fast pace, and we want to know everything, and sometimes we can't know everything. But I'm glad they did come out and say something, and we don't know what the law enforcement has, but the title, the clickbait, I don't agree with that. But I just wish they would have just said update with her case instead of making it look like there was pending charges. That's it. That's all. I'm gonna hop back in and chat. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.
We'll see you later, bro.
What is behind what she was saying? Not just publicly on television, but also to investigators. Because some of this stuff, I don't think it makes sense. It doesn't fit with the independent, trustworthy, like video evidence in the case. It's not making common sense, and it doesn't seem to match the evidence. But we don't know what's motivating what she's saying. But she told the same story that Stephan said. It's the same story about what happened that morning and what happened the day before. No real variation from it. As a matter of fact, at one point, she's kind of including herself in taking Madeline to school. Later saying it was my partner, Stephan, but still, she adopted that story. And that's what everyone was hearing when she first went missing. Now, the question tonight is, does it all make sense? And will it fit with the evidence? I don't know. That we're going to bring in our experts to take a look at that, and we're going to trace all of these steps. But first, let's take a step back and take a listen one more time. WFTV, on top of the story down in Orlando, spoke with Jen Soto and Stephan Stearns. Let's remind you of what they said, what their story is.
We dropped her off at school, close to school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way. She was spotted walking by the church, by the middle school, on the cameras. They saw her hang out in the parking lot for a little bit and then get up and leave. They didn't see a vehicle or anything else. They just saw her walk away around 9 a.m. heading towards the school, but she never made it.
Now that's a lie, right?
That's what
She didn't ever go to the what?
That's what he told her, right?
I'm guessing so, and that's why I said she believes the shit that she was being told, because I don't believe that that's the truth at all.
Well, this is supposedly the people at the church or wherever the camera was by the church told her sister, but they never saw the video. She had mentioned the whole sequence of events that she never saw the video. Because the reporter asked her, I think right after this, the reporter's like, "Have you seen the video, or did you see the video?" She's like, "No." Like, so it's just them saying and to her sister telling her. So it's like four-party information, and so they don't know exactly what she looks like. You know what I mean? Like on the video, like how are they supposed to know? Some person that doesn't even know her. Yeah, some girl. Some girl looked like she was walking, hung out in her driveway for a little bit, and then walked across the street. It's like, well, it was just for her to repeat that was kind of bizarre to me, anyways. To not know the truth that it was definitely her, and like I said, she kind of explains how she found out about the video. But for her to throw it into the story like that, and then another thing, at the beginning of this, she'll say something like, we dropped her off at school. Oh, close to school. And then she said something else, and then she retracted that too. It's just weird. And I feel like she's not doing herself any service by, that's why everyone's on her and, saying, no, I think she's involved or she knew, blah, blah, blah. Because she's just not, like you
Yeah, and
said,
by the
she's a
way, she
little
says it. I mean,
weird.
she's in shock too. But you got to think she's probably in shock at what's going on, that her daughter's missing. She's, maybe we got to put ourselves in her shoes with that too. Because I mean,
Oh, for sure. I mean, she was sitting there shaking. So I mean, I don't know if that was voluntary or not when she was doing the one interview. I mean, so obviously she's under some kind of stress. I mean, obviously your kid's missing and stuff, so she's definitely reacting a different way than, some people sit there with sob and can't do nothing. Some people are, straight as day and say, hey, we need to find my kid, kind of deal. And she's kind of like weird reaction to stuff.
right, like a slow reaction to it as well. Wishful thinking. What you got to add, babe?
I was just gonna say, in some cases, the kids do tell the parent, and the parent doesn't believe them. And that could have been a case, could have been that she told. And sometimes parents get engulfed into the boyfriends, and she might have told him, mom didn't believe her, and he saw that she told, and that could have been the thing that kind of cut the thread.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I mean, I had it done with me when I was a kid. My mom's boyfriend did it to me, and I told the story, and my mom didn't believe me until Christmas. He told her she should have believed him, and he told the truth and said, "Yeah, I did that." So there are situations where she could have told, and she might have not been believed.
I'm sorry that happened. I'm really
Okay.
sorry that happened to you.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry.
It was on Christmas that I told my mom that my mother's boyfriend, well, stepdad, but her boyfriend, I told her and she didn't believe me. Then he told her on Christmas, you should have believed your daughter. I did do that, and it was a whole mess. My whole other family members believed, but the other she didn't believe. But that's because she was so caught up in the guy. So, and that could have been the case that she told, but she wasn't believed. In some cases, that do happen where the kid tells the parent, and the parent doesn't believe. Or he could have told her, told the mom, oh, she's lying. She wants the attention, so she's lying about what she's saying. Don't believe her. And she told, and he was like, oh, no, she told. So, and sadly, this happens.
Yeah. Yeah, it happens. I mean, it's really sad.
It is. It's very sad. I thought that was going to say more about what's going on. It was not even a press conference or anything, update or anything. It was just like, okay, this, and then that was it. It was like they kind of let everybody on, like, okay, there's going to be more. Maybe they arrested the mom. They got more information. Nope. And he's lawyering up, so that should tell somebody something. There's more to this story than meets the eye.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, I figured he was, most of them do lawyer up right away. That's,
That's true. But there's more to the story than meets the eye. I don't think he's not too innocent on this. It's my opinion. I don't think the mom is too innocent on this situation. I think
right.
The mom
What is that noise? There's like a bunch of noise.
Oh, that's my boyfriend playing his video game. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's just like there's a bunch of. It's almost like you're playing with the phone, or it's like.
No, there's my boyfriend is next door to me, and he's playing his video game, so it's loud.
Oh, okay. I don't hear that. It's just like something like playing with the phone. Like that's what it sounds
Oh,
like.
that's my computer. I'm sorry. I'm holding my computer, so I might be tapping on my computer, and that's why.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it kind of sounds like there's a blanket or something, or a fan, or your hand, or something.
With my hand tapping on the computer. When I'm nervous, I tap on the computer.
Is that what it is? Okay, yeah. I was gonna say I wasn't sure what it was, but it was like a repetitive, like no, you know what I mean, noise that was going
That's
off.
sorry. Like I said, I get
It's all
nervous. I
right.
tap on the computer.
All right, baby. Well, I appreciate you popping up. Thank you so much for coming up and explaining some of it to us. I think that helps a lot too for other people to understand.
You're very welcome, and have a good afternoon.
You too, love. Thank you. Brittany, you're up here. What's up?
Hey, I'm really nervous to be up here, but I wonder if this mom is like in fight or flight mode, where she's like just kind of going through the motions, but she's also in denial, if that makes sense. I just think she cannot comprehend this.
Well, yeah,
At
and
all.
that could be.
Sorry, I'm really nervous. I
No,
am
you're okay.
You're doing
intimidated
a
by
great
your.
job, love.
Hold on. You have a little bit of feedback. Did you pause your YouTube first before you came up?
Oh, hold on 1 second.
Okay. I'm gonna mute her for right now because I think she's got her YouTube playing in the background, and I can hear it. Like I can hear her myself.
I mean, it's possible she's in shock still. Like she just cannot believe that this happened.
Right. Right.
Um,
Well, shit. I mean, it's very well possible. I mean, this is a lot. That's a lot to take in, man. This is a lot.
Maybe it's also a case she's suddenly putting the pieces of the puzzle together and understand and realizing the bigger picture.
Yeah, like thinking back, exactly. Thinking back, oh my God, yeah. Remember last summer when this happened or this happened?
All the way
Yeah.
back to when she was a child and things happened.
Yeah, and
She
she's
may
like,
be
dang,
questioning every ounce that she knows to be her life.
Yeah, and Cap said that's not a video game noise. That's like a car, like a cord hitting the mic or something. Yeah, it was like a tapping noise. Did you guys hear it or was it just me? Oh, hey, Brittany, you're back up here. I see you. Let me see. Let me pop this up just in case.
Yeah, I heard it was like a little, like a scratcher.
Yeah, it was like like some constant weird ass noise. I was like, what the hell?
Is it better?
Yeah, I don't hear it anymore. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I think she might be like in like a state of shock. I don't know that much about like her. I've only seen your coverage because sometimes like this stuff gives me anxiety.
Right.
So I don't always watch it on the news, but I just wonder if she's like in like shock and she can't comprehend it. If that makes sense.
It could. She very well could be. I mean, she very well could be. That's a lot to take in. That's.
I mean, the man you were with, murmured. Sorry,
Right.
I almost
Right.
said the word.
It's okay.
You know, did something to your daughter, and you're never getting your daughter back because it was done to your daughter.
Yeah, so she lost her daughter and her boyfriend at the same time, and then found out that her boyfriend, not only did she lose, both of them, but he took her life, and that's devastating in itself. And then you find out you further find out that he's been, doing awful things to her for the last 6 years, 5-6 years they were together, since she was 8 years old. That would probably make any woman sick to their fucking, sick to their stomach to even think about.
I wonder if she's replaying this whole situation in her head and she's like in constant shock.
I mean, she
probably.
That's
just my theory. I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, it's sad, man. It's really sad.
But I just want to say, Queen, I think you are hilarious. I was super nervous to come up here.
Oh, don't ever be nervous. You'll be all right.
Because you intimidate me. But oh my God, half the time you say things, I'm like, she's saying what I'm thinking, and I can't like disagree because she's saying what I'm thinking.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate you being here. I really
Especially
do.
when it comes to Betty, I'm like, oh dear God.
Oh yeah,
dear
yeah. We're
God.
not.
Yeah.
Not right now. But I appreciate you, love. Thank you for popping up and
You're welcome, and I hope.
time.
I will say, I hope everything goes well in that situation. I know you can't talk about it, but I
Yeah.
do send you positive thoughts, and that situation goes away shortly.
I appreciate that, love. Thank you so much.
All right. Talk later.
All right, baby. That was sweet of her to come up and say, hey. So yeah, she very well may still be in shock. I mean, I don't know that I don't know. That's
Bay. Around that time, 8:30 a.m., that Stephen Stern says he did drop Madeline off. Now, one more thing to note down this road. There's security cameras on top of almost every single light post. Now, police authorities.
So you would be able to see if it's on every single light post. If there's a camera on every single light post.
Yeah.
They would definitely be able to see anything and everything that happened. And she said at 9:00 that she was sitting outside of that building or whatever, but that's not the case. So he's going to follow like the steps. So Madeline Soto's home right here. So I think he's gonna go like retrace the steps. Let's see.
It's about 5.6 miles or so until the United Methodist Church, Peace United Methodist Church. And you take that drive, depending upon traffic, probably about 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. Depends upon how many stoplights you hit, etc. Then the last piece.
Village's apartments where Madeline Soto and her family lived. It's where her day began on February 26th, of course, the day she went missing. It's also where suspect Stephen Stern says he picked her up before taking her to school. Now, as we can see, that is a heavily secured gate. There's a security guard in the little hut right there checking every single car that comes in. There's plenty of cameras catching every single car that goes in and out. But there is also a back gate to the complex where Stearns could have exited the complex to take her to school that morning. So we're going to go check that out right now. Now, this is the back gate to the Venetian Bay apartment complex where Madeline Soto and her family lived. You can see a car pulling in now. It is also the gate closest to that dumpster that's referenced a lot in the police reports. We know now that that dumpster is where police recovered Madeline Soto's book bag and her school-issued laptop. They say they have Stephen Stearns on camera throwing those items away in that dumpster the morning that Madeline went missing around 7:45 a.m.
So they got him throwing her shit in the trash can at 7:45 a.m.
That's not good at all, because why would you throw somebody's stuff away? Because they're not coming back.
Right.
Yeah, stuff you need to the place that you're supposed to be going that morning.
Right.
It was stuff to go to school. So
well, and that's what did you hear the mom? She's like, yeah, and she was dropped off and she was there waiting and nobody came and got her.
Right.
Actually, they went and took some video of that dumpster earlier, and you can see that there are cameras right around where the dumpster is. So there's almost little to no doubt that those are the cameras that picked him up that police are referencing. And also, if you look closer to this back gate, you can see cameras looking right at every car that comes through those gates. And we do also know that police say they have video of Stearns returning to the complex with Madeline's body in the car the morning that she went missing when she was supposed to be at school. And of course, that is where police say they believe Madeline was already dead in the back of that car. But we are going to follow more of Stearns' story. So now we're going to take that drive from here, the Venetian Bay apartment complex, over to Peace United Methodist Church, where he says he dropped her off that morning before school. Now, something I am noticing on this drive to the church, we're going through plenty of busy intersections, all of which are flooded with security cameras. And my immediate thought is, if police don't already have it, they could probably track his entire route from the apartment complex to the church, and even from the church back to the apartment complex. Just something to think about as I'm going down this road from the Venetian Bay Apartments to Peace United Methodist Church. Now we are arriving at Peace United Methodist Church here on my left. Again, we are following the story that Stearns says happened the morning of February 26th when Madeline Soto went missing. He says he picked her up and took her from the Venetian Bay Apartments here to the Peace United Methodist Church to drop her off before school. We are here now at that Peace United Methodist Church where Stephen Stearns says he dropped Madeline Soto off that morning of February 26th when she went missing. Now, take a look down this road, Town Loop Boulevard. You know, we got some cars here. It's very wide open. You can see almost anything going on in this church park.
So let's kind of skip through this stuff here.
The more I'm hearing all this stuff and everything is it really seems like, I mean, obviously the guy's a moron. All the stuff he did, he could have hit it a little bit better. So it seems to me like it was, she might have said or told or saying that she was going to tell about what was going on, and it was like a spur of the moment. He just freaked out or something. Because there's definitely, he didn't do anything. If he planned it, he's an idiot.
Lord, I've never seen a town that has so much closed camera. Wait, that's a lot. And his whole entire path is like camera to camera to camera to camera.
Yeah, I want to say every major intersection where I live, there's a camera. And I mean, that's like not even major, just every intersection basically has a camera on it now, at least 5 or 6. Every bridge here has cameras on it. I know that for a fact.
Right.
So, I mean, they ought to be able to track them all the way, everywhere.
I'm pretty sure they did, didn't they? They got him. They even got him pulling out with her in his vehicle and said that she was deceased in the vehicle. They could tell that she was not even alive when he had her in the vehicle.
Yeah.
Whatever they're trying to prove, Madeline may have had to stray off right here into the main busy road, which again, very dangerous for a young girl, very dangerous for anybody, but especially a young 13-year-old girl out here by herself walking to school that morning. By herself.
No, him with her car, license through his mind, information that you want to give to the public. That calls. We go back, more than 10 years. There was a woman from Central Florida got arrested, made some calls to her parents, etc. Became a big part of the story of the case. Stephen Stearns.
What we could see from video, and I think of that case that you're talking about. I think that suspects and their families have learned a lot about what to say and what not to say on those jailhouse calls. But really, since then, you don't see any calls back and forth with Jen Soto. You don't see any calls back and forth with his family. We know he doesn't have a high-priced attorney right now. He's got a public defender. He says he can't afford attorney. I imagine that the attorneys are visiting him in jail, but for right now, he seems pretty isolated from the public now, not being able to or making any phone calls or getting any phone calls in jail.
Erica Morris, you look at the profile of this guy. If he is, in fact, a predator, everything he did seemingly in his life was to gain access. And the ultimate access to gain
that's fucking predator.
Is
like that is predator. That is predator to me. Like You know what I mean? When you fucking groom, you get in with a woman and you groom her and love bomb her and her fucking kid to get close to her kid to do things to her child. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking disgusting. YouTuber said, look at Avery's man up there. Oh, Jason.
Single mom with a young girl. And
I feel like that's another reason too.
Jason? That's the
Yeah,
guy,
that's
Jason?
Jason. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's Jason, the one that Laura asked, are you and
Yeah,
Avery
the whole
together or
bullshit.
whatever? Yeah, that's him.
Oh my goodness, the one that destroyed Avery's entire relationship.
The bottom right.
Wow.
A single mom with a young girl. And when he met Jen Soto, Madeline was about 7 years old. This is classic behavior if it turns out to be true.
If it turns out to be true, we have 60 counts so far, Vinny. Listen, I got my start in investigations when a 13-year-old was kidnapped by mom's boyfriend, and then we found thousands of images of bestiality and child pornography, and he was never charged for that. But this case has so many correlations to Haley Dunn, it makes me sick. And as somebody who has thoroughly investigated that case, everything from mom's story that does not jive that morning, his continuous stories, him moving around all over the place, these 60 counts, 20 of which are instances, independent instances of sexual assault. And you can tell the progression, Vinny, because half the charges are from when she was under the age of 12, and a lot of the charges are then when she was over the age of 12. I want to know, was there ever an outcry in a school setting? Did mom ever get any wind of this? Did we ever have a CPS case opened or investigated? Were there ever any allegations of inappropriate touching or behavior? There are a million questions that yet need to be answered from my perspective.
Shannon Butler, any information like that coming out from your investigation of this case?
There's still quite a bit of question, or quite a few questions about Jen Soto. They're pretty tight-lipped. We know that they are looking into her. The story didn't help. That the stories were different, not only to us, but then to other media outlets and then to law enforcement. I know that there are some thoughts about the reaction when she found out the news about her daughter, about her boyfriend, likely never seeing the light of day again if these charges are in fact continue. So it's hard to know just how much they know about her story or how much they will really dig into her story. There's just so much that we don't know yet on that. They're pretty tight-lipped, and a lot of it was because they still had things to figure out. The video really was helpful, and the phone was really helpful, but there's a lot of pieces they're putting together to make sure that they can put the murder charges where they need to be, and if they need to decide on charges for Jen Soto. So it's a little bit slow going right now. Remember, Kissimmee Police Department is a smaller department than
that too. See, that's another thing too, is it's a smaller police department, and I don't think they were ready for the overflow, you know?
For sure, but couldn't they throw a charge, like at least have murder, second-degree murder, and have it? They can amend it at any time, right? They don't have to follow through with that charge.
Doesn't that mean the clock starts ticking if they put that on him?
Oh, that's
and
true.
Right now, as long as they do it this way, it's an investigation, and he's not going anywhere. It's
That's
like
true.
what he's not going anywhere. He's sitting in detention. Right. So.
Yeah, that's what the chief said today. Anyway, he's not going anywhere. We got him. He's going to be in there for a while. And yeah, that does make sense because if you do file charges like that, then the clock does start to tick.
Some. It's a smaller town, and they've got as many people as they can working on it.
And a
but
lot of eyes.
It will take them some time. Tomorrow will be the first time.
Big
a
day.
lot of eyes, right?
Right.
And
Big day.
Tomorrow will be the first time that we get a look. I'm not expecting a lot from that news conference, though.
So yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, gotta wait till he goes to court. Really, he's a nasty ass, and I hope he gets what he has coming. I really do.
Yeah, I think he will.
Super dirty what he did. You know what I mean? And I mean, I can only imagine how many other kids he's done this to. They said he was like a coach. They said he coached like different team. Like what was he? Basketball coach or some type of coach. I'm trying to think what it was. Maybe it was like a Big Brother program or something where I don't know what it was. Let me think. Pretty sure they said he was coaching something. Anyhow, I can only imagine if he was that how much what access he had to these other kids, and then that only that leads me also to any of the little girl's friends that came over and stayed. If my daughters or my kid, you know what I'm saying, my kids were to go stay over there, I would be devastated to hear. You know what I'm saying? To know that happened. You know what I mean? And it would also make me wonder what happened while they were there. Like I'm sure there's parents. What I'm saying is I'm sure there's parents that their kids stayed there, that are questioning right now. Did he do something to my child? Like
I bet there's a lot of parents having conversations right now with their children.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, anyone that's came in contact with them for sure is like freaking right about now.
Yeah.
Or knew of Madeline during the last however long, at least 5 years. Hey Heather BBG, what's up? Yeah, man, that's crazy. That dude is sick, man. And it seemed like he preyed on her, and man, I don't know. Like you said, it just seemed like she's a little out of it in some aspects. So, and I wonder. I mean, I don't know, but I wonder, like, some guy, obviously, but with women, because it's all it's always the second, third man. It's not the. I hope it's good that it's not the biological father doing this all the time, but it's just like how do they feel? Like, are they more inclined to believe their boyfriend because they don't want to lose him, like they lost the first man? I don't. Does that come into play sometimes? I don't know. It just seems like a lot of these women, wishful thinking, it said it where the mother, takes their side. They'll take the boyfriend's side over their own kid's side. A lot of these cases, and it's kind of strange. Is there a dynamic there that has to do with that, or I don't know? They said I'm a guy, so I really don't know. But I thought not that it's weird that it's the boyfriend, not the biological dad, but it could be the second, third, fourth boyfriend or whatever, and they just. I don't know if that plays a part into all this, where they believe the boyfriend over the kid, for whatever reason. They don't want to lose the boyfriend for they get, I don't know, whatever. I'm blabbling.
You're all right, man.
No, it's a definite different thought process, Buckless. I see how, like, it's a thought process.
Yeah, because I mean, you could look at it just in general. I mean, men are ride or die for their women a lot. Women are ride or die for their men a lot. So you don't want to believe the worst, especially. I mean, if this is really blindsided this really came out of nowhere and she had no idea. I mean, that's a big blow right there to even comprehend. I don't know. She may not even have processed it yet. The mother, that is. So it's hard to even tell. Maybe that's what they're waiting on, for her to like kind of level out to see where,
Right.
where they're at with her.
Very well could be, I wonder what that presser was today, because that was kind of odd to me still.
Here's the thing that made me, one of the things that made me wonder was if in their investigations they didn't maybe uncover a bigger ring. Because what if they've been able to link him to distributing said stuff?
Yeah, there's been articles around about that where people were busted right after that, in that same area. I think someone killed them, did something to themselves also, in that area right after, and they had links to bad stuff on their
locally
computers and stuff.
Locally, we had a town councilman. And it's a kid that I grew up with, went to high school, went to
for educational purposes only.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, what can I say? What can't?
Yeah, for educational purposes only.
And you can pull up the news articles in like the Cowboy State Daily that talks about this. This man was caught with all of this stuff, and he was selling it for Bitcoin. So he was distributing it.
Yeah, I mean, and those counts, they're talking like it had to be at least 10 or more per count. So at the minimum, it's like 400 articles of this stuff that he had on his phone. I mean, holy crap, man. I mean, you would think that they would have more. I mean, they got to be tracking that, right? Like, they got to be able to grab his IP, his phone, whatever, and know that dude is some of that stuff.
That might be what the presser was about today was, hey, we're still working this. I'm giving my investigators time.
Well, someone said in chat, maybe they were going to say something, and then at the last minute, they're like, hey, man, we better hold off on that and not really go there. We'll just stick to the basic thing. We're still investigating, blah, blah, blah. Take a couple questions. They thought,
I don't know. I think people are accusing the mom, and like you said, they're going after the mom. The mom's in hiding, but I mean, they really didn't clear her name either. They just said, well,
yeah.
Matter of fact, how they said it was even fucking caused even more suspect to.
Everyone's a suspect till we clear them, and and they didn't say they cleared anybody.
Yeah, like
what?
Correct.
Like, well, everyone's a suspect. I'm like, oh shit. Well then.
Yeah, everyone that knew her, basically that knew Madeline, is a suspect, is how they kind of put it.
Right.
And then the reporter did ask, what about the mom and the biological dad? And she's like, they are cooperating. And that's it. That's like that they both are cooperating. They both came in and did an interview or some crap like that. It wasn't anything. It was like bland and to the point and not really saying anything. But yeah, everyone's a suspect. That was strange to me. And until they're cleared is, I think, how she put it. And she didn't mention anyone that was cleared. And she said everyone's been cooperating though, except for Stefan. So there was that.
Well, there's this. This says Madeline Soto murder, 60 new charges filed against Steven. Let's see here. And this is court TV, so we should not get flagged with this.
25th should have been a great day for Madeline Soto, her 13th birthday, celebrating a new phase in her life, becoming a teenager. There was a party, but her mother, Jen Soto, could not make it. But her mother's live-in boyfriend was there, Stefan Stearns, a man who had been in Madeline's life for at least a couple of years. In fact, Jen referred to him as Madeline's stepfather, even though they were not married. The next day, Jen and Stefan say Stefan gave Madeline a ride to school. They also say Madeline was embarrassed and did not want to get dropped off in front of the school, so she was dropped off at a church parking lot less than half a mile away. That's the
And that right there, that's it.
Yeah, so true, pecan pie. They
The
definitely.
day after her 13th birthday. So what happened on her 13th birthday that he thought she needed, you know what I mean? He had to take her life.
I think she told him she was going to tell.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. That's what I'm just.
Yeah, the cat was going to be out of the bag, and he, for whatever. I mean, yeah, man.
One thing that stood out to me in that presser was when they listed the dates, how it was before she was 12 and after she was 12.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, because some of the charges were under someone under 12, and then they were under between 13
Yeah,
and 18.
I wonder. I don't even know if they do that. Do they split charges like that? I just thought it was like a minor. If under 18, you're a minor.
No, they had it. It was if it's under like 12, I guess it's in Florida. They have it. If it's under 12, it's a whole other thing. And then there was
Oh,
other
no
charges that
shit.
were
Oh,
from.
I didn't know that.
That's kind of how they said it. It was. I'm sorry, 11 and under, if I believe so. That's
think
how
you're
they
right.
kind of. Yeah,
It
it's
was
11 and under because she was already 12 for a year. Obviously before she turned 13. But that's how those other few charges at the end were part of it too. I think they label it between 12 and 18 for that other range. Here in Florida, they're freaking. They have all kinds of crazy stuff, and you think they would do more though against these freaking peas.
Let's see here. I'm switching. Have you guys heard any more on that Sebastian Rogers? Have you guys heard any more on him?
Crap, I couldn't get my thing unmuted. I have not. I've heard the initial stuff, but that's about what I've heard. There's an interview with his parents, I believe. Mom and stepfather, mom and there's an interview with parents out there.
Yeah, I haven't watched the interview yet of the parents. I've seen it everywhere on YouTube. I just haven't clicked on it and watched it.
Isn't he the child that was autistic and walked away?
Well, that's what they're saying, but I have a hard time that
Yeah.
he just walked away. I mean, he's a very, very smart child.
Mom also said that he wouldn't want. He didn't like to be dirty.
Yeah, so this one was, let's see, this is 20, that's an hour. Let's see, this was like, let's see, this was done 2 hours ago. So this is a pretty good update. Let's pop this one on first. Okay.
Yes. Crispy treat. We talked about Riley Strain in the first live this morning.
Yeah. Yep. And then we switched over to this live and talked about Madeline. And then before I get off here, I'm going to touch base about Sebastian Rogers because I haven't really heard much about him. So just kind of checking in on that before I end the live,
Another Tennessee, man. I mean, what is going on, Tennessee?
Right. Another one.
He's not giving up hope after his son disappeared from Sumner County last month. Blake Eason at the WKRN.com alert desk with the conversation.
Hey, good morning to you, Nikia. Yeah, this is the first time we're hearing from the father on air. He says he's not giving up hope as he's searching for his son right now in West Tennessee. Sebastian father Seth Rogers says someone told his mom that he should search Natchez Trace State Park. That park is more than 100 miles away from where the 15-year-old went missing. Now, it's important to note he didn't elaborate on who that someone was, and as far as what happened to him, that still remains a mystery, one Seth is determined to get to the bottom of.
I don't know what to believe. I mean, all I know is that he has disappeared out of his mama's house, and it's my job to find him and bring him home.
And so Sebastian was reported missing on Monday, February 26th. Of course, we'll continue to follow this as we do with each of these stories breaking right now. For breaking news around the clock, you can always go to WKRN.com.
Yeah, so it's been almost, 3 weeks? He's been missing about 3 weeks. That's a long time, man. Shit.
We're following a breaking.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to pop that on again. Let's see here. This is another one. That's like Nancy Grace was here. I want to see the parents interview here. They're, because the parents do an interview.
There's a mom and stepdad. Yes, please.
No, they said he just walked out the house, and then 3 days ago it says crews recover a body found floating in Cumberland River 3 days ago. All right, let's see. Oh, and you know what? It just
In today's video.
So was it Olivia that got the interview with the parents? Is that who did it?
Hang on, I'm scrolling my I got my little.
We're on constant.
Like
I got it right here.
I think there's a news interview that happened with them.
Yep, I got it up.
Okay.
Roller coaster ride of helpless and we're on a constant roller coaster ride of helpless and hopeless and many other emotions all in one, and it's a never-ending roller coaster. It doesn't stop.
This must not be the whole thing. This must just be like a clip of it. Let me go look for the whole thing real fast.
So he didn't say anything. He just walked out the door, huh?
Yeah, that's from my from my understanding. I guess that's what happened. I don't.
Because that was the stepdad and mom, and then the clip that you played the audio before was the biological dad.
I'm sorry.
That was the stepdad and mom right there, and then the clip before was the biological father that said that all I know is that he's walked out his mom's door and I need to find him, or I have to find him.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe so. I'm looking for their guess I could go up here and type in their
Well, the one that I was trying to put in there earlier, finally, my system has finally allowed me to hit the enter button on it. So those just got dropped in back chat. I'm sorry. I've been waiting for I don't know. I was trying to put it in before. It's another missing person.
Yeah, it's all good. No, you know what I mean? No biggie.
Tonight, the parents of a missing teen in Sumner County described to us exclusively how they feel on day 8 of their son's death. disappearance. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Marius Payton.
And I'm Lauren Lowry. Sebastian Rogers is 15. He was last seen by his parents on February 25th in Hendersonville. Sebastian has autism, and he's gone without his medication this whole time. And since then, authorities have searched by air, by foot, and on horseback.
Helicopters, drones, and dive teams have also been brought in to try to find him. Today, his parents spoke exclusively to our Holly Thompson.
She's live tonight in Sumner County. Holly, I imagine it was quite an emotional interview.
Crispy treat, I see you back here, baby. Let me pop this screen up. Hold on one sec. Oh, whoops, sorry about that. Hey, how are you, baby?
Hey, honey, how are you?
Doing all right. What you up to, love?
I just was gonna comment on this case. That's all. You can play your news article. This is from my hometown. So and this one tugs at me near and dear just because he has autism. But there's something odd that's going on here just because he kind of vanished out of nowhere. He just absolutely the mom went to bed and went to get him up in the morning, and he was not there, and he had no shoes on. And the dogs didn't have any scent to him either. There was no scent that they could follow.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just really unusual.
All right, I'm gonna pop this on real quick because it's got some. I believe now is this mom and stepdad?
Yeah, that's the mom and the stepfather. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Certainly was. It is hard for any of us to imagine the emotions that this family is going through right now. But we know one thing is certain. They remain positive. They are holding on to hope that their son Sebastian will return home safely.
Can you walk us through what you're thinking right now?
I just want my baby to be okay. I don't know where he's at.
Mom Katie broke down several times in our interview, but says her hope is strong that her son Sebastian will be found safe and return home.
He's going to walk through that door, and this street will be flooded again with family and relatives all waiting to hug and love him. And
Stepdad Chris says it's been an emotional roller coaster that all started Sunday night, February 25th.
Pretty normal. He was playing in his room. When I told him to go to bed, he did. He said, "Good night, Mom. I love you."
Katie says she went to wake up Sebastian around 6 a.m. Monday for school, and he was gone. Within minutes, Katie says she was on the phone with Chris, who was working out of town, and they quickly called 911.
And he's not a runner. He's never run away before. I don't know why. I don't know why he walked out that door.
I mean, he's a good kid. He's not a mischievous child by any means.
Katie and Chris say Sebastian is not on social media. While he loves to play Minecraft, they tell me he does not have any online capabilities. I asked if there was any reason he might want to leave.
We've been combing over that day and even the weeks before he left, and I hadn't been able to figure it out. He's that morning he was laughing, he was joking.
It's as if Sebastian vanished. No sign of him on any video throughout the community. Thousands of miles logged by law enforcement, canines, helicopters, even dive teams, and no sign of him. Chris and Katie tell me they've been harassed, people pointing fingers at them.
You're not in this situation.
And I bet they do. I bet they get harassed like hell.
Yeah.
You don't quite understand. I wish people would step back, take a different wide open view, and not assume what they know. It's just better to stick to the facts.
Are you both in the clear?
I can tell you that Mom, myself, and the father have worked very fully and cooperatively with all agencies across the board. We have anything that they've wanted, we have provided.
What do you want to say to Sebastian? What do you want him to hear from you right now?
That we love you so much,
and we want you to come home, and you're not in trouble.
Now, Katie did tell me that even though Sebastian does have autism, he is.
And see, that was different from what he said the first interview. I think he said something. He changed the answer to from being, or that they're cooperating, not that they were cleared. I think the first interview he might have said that they were cleared, and then he said they were cooperating or whatever. And then he's been married 5 times, which is like that's I wonder how long he's been married to her, like how long he's been in the house with him. But that it just is bizarre because they haven't nobody has, the dad was out of town, and then there's no internet access, so how would this child just walk out without shoes on and in the middle of the night, you know?
Wow. This is
It's unusual. It's just terrible.
Yes, the stepdad was working out of town, Pecan.
Yeah, he was working out of town, and apparently the mom and the stepfather were on the phone that night with one another for 3 hours, which that's odd too. Like, what would you be talking to each other for 3 hours? I don't know. So I wondered how long they were married, because I don't know about, it just seems like, it just seems like if you were married a long time, maybe you wouldn't be on the phone for 3 hours.
Does he normally work out of town?
I guess so. I think it might be a contractor or something like that. So yes, and he was working on the like the Ruth Lyons building, or I forget, something like he was doing something like that out of town. And then they said they had a regular normal day on the day before or whatever. And then the dad's very involved with the child, and they apparently have a good relationship with one another. They get along real well, and it's the only child of the fathers. And there's a custody battle that's been going on for 7 years between the stepfather and one of his exes. 7 years. That's a long time to be in a custody battle. But and like I said, he's had, 5 marriages. But so I was interested to know how long those two had been together. But he seems like a real nice person. I mean, they both, you can see that the mother is just racked, and you can, like, they seem like they're nice people, is what I'm trying to say. But there's, something is wrong there, where this child just would get up in the middle of the night and walk out, and then there's no scent of him either, So, and listen to this. This will break your heart. That he's such a sweet little boy. He would ask every Christmas and his birthday. He would ask for friends for Christmas and his birthday. He would ask people for friends, or he'd ask his mom and dad for friends.
Yeah, where does the biological dad live?
He
compared
lives just like in another town over or whatever. He not in that town, and I want to say he is with the police, not the police, or he's with the police department, or he does something with the police maybe. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
someone
so.
had mentioned in chat, like maybe he walked out to walk to his dad's house or something, since they're
Oh, No, I
involved.
think he lives somewhere. I mean, he lives somewhere where he sees his dad every other weekend. So yeah, close enough where you know he sees his father. But no, I mean his dad has given like us some phone interviews, and they were he was on Smiley's show last night, I believe. I don't watch that channel, so but I think the dad was on there last night. So but it's yeah, it's bizarre that that the scent dog didn't, which would be like that the dogs didn't have any scent for him, which would make you think that he left in a car. But then who would have lured him out? You know, who would have lured him outside if he doesn't have any internet capabilities? And I guess he played things on that Switch or whatever that thing is. Um, that Switch thing. I don't know what.
Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So, but he doesn't have any internet, so you would wonder who in the world. That my next thought would be, I wondered if somebody had come to his window or something. I'm not sure what the layout is of the home, but you would wonder about that. I don't know. Why would he walk out the door? And where, who would he go with? So, and I do know, since I grew up in that area, and I mean, I lived on the lake, and right there, where the college boy, I had worried about the water right there. And I know this is in Hendersonville. I was in Gallatin, and which is just the town right there next to it, but there's water everywhere. And also with autistic children, oftentimes they do tend to get out, and they will run away sometimes, just not because they're unhappy or anything. It's just that sometimes they will get out of the house. But it doesn't seem like um his autism he was on the spectrum, but it doesn't seem like he was um as affected as some others. I have a son with autism, but um they will tend to get out sometimes. And like, I had to put alarms on my doors and my windows and things like that. And my little one, when he was little, he used to, you would install it and you'd put the code on, and he would watch you put the code in, and boom, he would know it, and he would just disarm the alarm on it. They're super smart that way. And so that was a difficult thing, but it was difficult when he was little. He's not little any longer. So I don't know how seemed like he was high functioning, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm not sure. And she said that he had never gotten out before. He had never done that before. So that might not been a concern of theirs, but they will sometimes just get out, just wondering, just wanting to wonder, and then have trouble once they get out. But it doesn't seem like her son was, it seemed like her son was pretty high functioning. So, but when I heard that he wanted friends for Christmas and his birthday, that just, oh God, that tugged at my heartstrings. So, Yeah, I
Can you
think
hear me
yeah, that's right.
okay?
He's a deputy sheriff. That's right. I thought he
Yes,
worked for the
ma'am.
sheriff.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you could hear me.
So
Yeah, I don't think not having the internet is like the be all end all to say that, oh, you couldn't have talked to someone prior. It's not
right.
like, hey, you need a text nowadays to do anything. Like you could
Yeah,
talk
that's
about it,
true.
beforehand, and maybe it was all set up to do something. Just a thought, but
Yeah, but since he doesn't have very many friends or whatever, but he could have met somebody in town. I don't know.
or just in his neighborhood. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, and they did speak that he knew how to get to a specific place that was like they put malt. They had malts and shakes, and he liked the malt.
Yes, he loved the malts, and he wanted double malt, and he did like that place that was close by, and I guess he had a good sense of direction, I guess, where he would have been able to have uh gotten to his dad's, he could have would have been able to have, given directions to his father's or something like that. But I mean, but of course, the father doesn't hasn't seen him, since I think the weekend or the week before or 2 weeks before, I guess. So, and I guess the father is a very active father and goes to his therapy appointments and, very, very much involved in his life. So,
yeah, it's definitely a mystery.
yeah.
But in all accounts, I mean, even to them, they're like, "What's going on?" It's kind of strange. Yeah, no scent leaving the house at all, and
Yeah.
it's just
That bothers me. That
Yes, it bothers me as well.
because we know how when you like dogs can alert on a fear scent.
Mhm.
So that
Yeah.
means that he would have had to have left the home willingly in a not scared manner.
Mhm.
But the mom said he only left in socks and he did not like to be dirty.
No, doesn't like to be dirty, and that's a thing with autism too. Most of them have sensory integration disorder. That's a sensory thing where they don't like things on their hands, or they don't like to be dirty. Yeah.
Fortnite, I thought it was Minecraft.
Yes, Minecraft is what he likes. Yeah.
But isn't Minecraft internet based also?
No, I guess like you can play it on that Nintendo Switch or whatever, I
Right. So
suppose.
it connects to the internet, I thought.
I don't know. I don't know much about all that stuff. So it's just unusual. It's a unusual case in my opinion, and you don't want to. Of course, everybody's looking. You have to look at the last place he was, and and for the dad, and I guess the stepfather must be in the clear since he was out of town, and the I don't know what's going on uh with them, you know. And I believe too that I want to say that they canceled an interview too. I believe that they had an interview with somebody and they might have. I want to say I don't know. Maybe I'm getting that wrong. That could have been with that Stefan dude. That creep, that weirdo with Maddie. That guy. I looked at his Facebook the other day, and you can see that Stefan guy. You can see Maddie in the reflection of his glasses. just creepy. But yeah, he's only like 20 minutes from the boy, the college boy that you guys were talking about earlier this morning. I missed that. So
Yeah, I was saying there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in Tennessee of late.
yeah. And I heard somebody else said that there were 2 more people missing out of just in that area. So
Independent Thinker said earlier there's at least 50 people that are. Was it her or someone
Yeah,
said
so
at
50
least
other
50
people.
kids missing right now.
Brianna, you're up here.
Hello.
I love just making sure it was
In
you.
Tennessee at this moment.
yeah, there's I don't know if you guys have heard, since you guys did that story this morning, I missed it, but I don't know if anybody's heard of the smiley face killers. If you guys look that up, that's there's been a whole, I don't know, just like a whole conspiracy about these smiley face killers. People have thought that there was a group of them that were copycatting, but it's about all these college age boys or that leave a bar and they leave it and they're intoxicated and they are always found passed away in the water somewhere. There's also like, I think that there's been some, Dr. Phil even did an episode on it years and years ago. And if you look it up, they're called the smiley face killers. And you'll die if you look up uh, the stats on it, how many of these young men that are, college age and go missing and are found in the water. I even saw like a 2020 on it years ago too. Or maybe it was like 48 hours. I can't remember which one. But and it's all over the world. That
Yeah, there's serious debate as to whether the smiley face killer is real
yes,
or whether it's a bunch of people just trying to convince
trying
us
to
that it's
make
real.
it. Yes, yeah. But it's something to look at for sure. But whether it's real or not, there are a lot of people that swear. Well, because there are people have made the smiley face, in that where the bodies have been found. You'll see like a spray paint of the smiley face or whatever. You don't know, but that's a weird coincidence. There's seems to be a lot of them that meet the criteria, and there's something that has to do with there's a gay component in those stories as well. Where some of them a lot of them have been leaving a gay bar, or they went to go, I don't know, like maybe like a hate crime of some sort. I'm not sure all the
There's
specifics
also
on
a
it.
podcast about the smiley face killer.
Is
There's
there?
also a
I'm sure
podcast.
there is. Yeah, I'm sure there is. I'll have to look at that. I haven't. I didn't realize that, but yeah, I mean, I think there's a ton missing from Chicago.
How are you, Brianna?
I'm good. I actually came up to talk about Sebastian because 2 of my boys are autistic.
Yeah.
So I can kind of speak to the autistic children wandering off thing.
Yeah.
Please.
My oldest son, when he was 7 years old, middle of the day, perfectly normal day. I was taking care of his little brothers, changing diapers and everything. Turn around, and he's gone. Just gone. Not a word. He's not outside playing. He's not in his room. He's not in the living room. He's not in the kitchen. He's nowhere. I freak out. I call my mother. I call my mother-in-law. I call all of my siblings. Oh my God, he's gone. I call the police. I'm freaking out. He made it across the train tracks.
Oh God.
He made it halfway across town.
Oh my goodness.
He was on his way to his father's shop because my husband at the time ran a hobby shop. And he had decided that he wanted to go see Daddy at work, just out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't think he needed to tell me because he knew where he was going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do. They just they and it's not that they are unhappy or anything. They just, out of curiosity or out of, just an urge that they want to go.
No one has any idea why they do it. They
Mm-hmm.
just do.
Yeah.
It's something that they do.
Yes, mine did
Not
it
all of
twice.
them do it. Just like
Mhm.
not most have sensory issues. Some do.
Yeah.
I have one son that constantly has tags in his pocket because he rubs them together when he gets stressed out. It's the sensory feeling. The other one is tape or stickers.
That he doesn't like them. He doesn't
No,
like.
he does.
Oh.
Just like the one that uses the tags and rubs them together. This one
Uh-huh.
clicks the tape together.
Oh, okay.
Fidget spinners didn't work for them.
Yeah, mine neither. Yeah.
They had their own. But I think Sebastian leaving without shoes to me implies that he thought he was running outside real quick. Going out to talk to someone real quick, going out to pick something up real quick. Somebody had brought something to him and he thought he was coming right back in.
Yeah.
So something changed. I do believe he got in a car. But what really gets me, I don't think the stepdad had anything to do with it. I don't think the mom had anything to do with it. Someone did something to Sebastian. But I don't think it was his parents.
Mm-hmm.
We have zero evidence. We have been presented zero evidence that the stepdad came back to town that night. Now,
Yeah, I never heard
if
that he
they give
came
us
back
if
to
they
town.
if they give us an affidavit, if they give us a PAC, then or a PCA rather, then yeah, if they say that they tracked his cell phone and he came back to town that night, and then they can ping his car at the construction site where the scent was picked back up. If something happened at that construction site, if they find Sebastian's body there and they ping the stepdad's phone there, then yeah, we've got probable cause. But we haven't been shown any of that.
I
So
didn't
far
even
as
hear that.
we've been told, no, the scent at the construction site.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about that the father came back or that the father came back to town. He was on the phone with his wife for 3 hours out of town.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We have zero evidence that the stepdad came back to town. So why is everyone so convinced that the stepdad did something to him from 3 hours away? That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think everyone needs to stop blaming the mom. Everyone needs to stop blaming the stepdad. Until they give us evidence that stepdad was in town, he had nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hadn't heard that people were saying that he came back into town. That has to just be rumor,
Well, that would easily be tracked via cell phones.
Yeah.
A lot of vehicles nowadays have your GPS and your OnStar internet services, a lot of that.
Yeah, look at that Murdoch case, where that showed everything. It showed when he, stopped and started his car and where he, stopped and threw the cell phone out and, I mean, it was crazy. How what they can read on a car now.
Oh yeah, if it's got OnStar,
Mm-hmm.
if it's got Bluetooth for the phone,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
they can
Yeah.
follow it, to the inch. They know exactly where he was.
Yep.
Well, and a lot of times, even your phone, unless you drill down into Google, it'll still track you everywhere you're going, even with your location being off.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
And the
That's
being on the
crazy.
phone for 3 hours thing, I've
Mm-hmm.
been married for 31 years. My husband and I are still on the phone for hours every day while we're at work. It's because we're bored.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, because he has to drive. He fills vending machines in the prisons
Yeah.
around us, and he has to drive. So,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, we're always on the phone while he's driving because I write reports all day. My brain gets numb. I can write these reports with my eyes closed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we just spend the day on the phone because we're bored. It's a perfectly
Mm-hmm.
normal, non-suspicious
Yeah.
thing for married people to do.
Mhm. I guess maybe that's just me because I was thinking like, God, what in the hell would you be on the phone with your husband for 3 hours? But I was
Shit, I can
thinking, I
spend 3
wondered how
hours.
long they were married. And that's
I
why I
can
was
spend
wondering that.
I could spend 3 hours on the phone with a girlfriend. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, like, not that big of a. That's not about
Oh
wild
yeah,
stuff.
I've got that one friend that knows everything about everybody, and she calls every other day to fill me in on all the gossip, and we're on the phone for like 2 hours every other day.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know. I got a couple of those. I love it. I love coffee time with my friends.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I can do that with girlfriends, I guess, but I don't know if I don't think I've ever spent that much time on the phone with a man in my life, Mm.
But that's my theory on Sebastian. I think somebody pulled up and said, "Hey, come out for a minute," and he thought he was just running out to get something or talk to somebody real quick.
Yeah, but
They
see, he didn't
talked
have a
him into
cell
getting in the
phone.
car.
He didn't
Huh?
have a cell phone.
He didn't think he was leaving.
I
I
know, but
think
I'm
they
saying,
got a
how did
hold
he
of
get, or
him.
like, how did they lure him out
Oh,
of the house?
I think he figured out how to get his Minecraft online.
Yeah.
I think that I think that he had circumvented his parents' offline
I
controls,
agree
and
with
he was
that.
secretly online, and he was in a party.
I
Yeah.
agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that you could do that. So,
Oh
but
yeah, and
if
unless
there's a
they had
will, there's a
his,
way.
like I said, it is possible to play Minecraft offline. My kids all did it till they were 13. I had their computers' MAC addresses blocked at the router. They had to know how to get in the router to get out of that. They did not know the router password. If all they did was like put parental control on his computer rather than on the router, he figured out how to get around it.
Yeah. Yeah. They're smart cookies. That's
Oh,
for
and it was a
sure.
Nintendo. From what I'm understanding, it's a Nintendo Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, you can get around. If you do it on the Switch, you can get around that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go ahead and hop down because the dogs are going nuts. But that's my theory. That's why he didn't have shoes. That's why he didn't take his phone. That's
Yeah, you're
why.
probably right about that. That he just wanted to, or he thought he was coming right back in.
Yeah. And
So.
somebody convinced him to get in the car, and then they went to the construction site, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever it was. And I don't think it was his stepdad.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think his mom had anything to do with it. So.
Yeah, I didn't. I just don't. I just think it's a weird case. So I don't know. And yeah, I have no idea what's going on with it. But it's unusual. He's been gone a very long time without any sightings.
Yeah.
So
I think we all know what that means. But
yeah.
I'm going to hop back down to chat. See y'all later. Love you, Queen.
All right. Y'all, I'm going to hop down too. I just wanted to come in and give my 2 cents. So that's all. But thank you for having me up. I appreciate it. Hello.
Hey, thanks for joining in. I'm not.
Yeah.
You might be stepped away. I apologize. I'm having a problem getting my mic unmuted. Apparently,
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
And I'm really bad about, like, if I'm not speaking or directly speaking to somebody, I'm trying to be better at not just staying muted.
Oh, that's okay. I just didn't know if y'all could hear me or not, but I wanted to say thank you for having me up. I appreciate it, and that's all. So, but thank you again.
Hey, you're welcome. You're
Alrighty,
welcome.
bye-bye.
Bye. Have a great day.
You too.
Yep. You know, Starry Night, you make a great point. If you have a cell phone, you could have set up the hotspot to get the switch online. Absolutely. And somebody else had said Starlight, I think I'd said in here that it sounded like maybe he could access YouTube on his cell phone. So I mean, again, he would have a way to look things up, you know. Again, kids are smart. Scary to be a parent. And I appreciated Brianna's perspective as well. Moderator, just because somebody is on the autism spectrum does not mean that they're not capable of, I mean, I don't see it. Yes, I do. I believe he would be. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for coming up, Crispy Treat and Brianna. Starlight said my 6-year-old figured out how to get his Switch online. I'm betting that Sebastian could too. Yeah, that's the thing too. Once they get online, where they have those online games, they're basically, you know, at leisure to the world there. I mean, pretty much anybody, you know, somebody could have said, hey, you know, if you meet me, I can give you 10 games for free or whatever, you know. He didn't know he was going, you know, if that were the case, but I mean, he wouldn't know he was going to fall into a trap. You know what I mean?
I agree, Queen. I absolutely agree.
I mean, that makes the only logical sense when you look at everything. I mean, either that or you got beamed up by aliens.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't tell me there's not predators on these games hunting these kids. You know what I mean? Like, knowing damn well a lot of these kids get on them games and they're sitting there playing them games while their parents are busy. You know what I mean? And they sit and talk to them, type to them, and you know, they could sell them a whole fucking dream and they don't even know, you know?
Yep.
It's really sad. I mean, it's fucking scary.
Was Sebastian homeschooled? Did he go to public school? He went to public school?
I think he went to public school.
I hope that they find something. Public school. Hmm? It's the first day of spring, and we are having snow flurries. March has been just like, I'm beginning to wonder if March needs some of my mental health meds, because like this has been the craziest weather. I don't know enough about a Nintendo Switch, but here's what I am thinking. If you have kids and you have a Nintendo Switch and you have things put in place, maybe you should maybe all parents should be checking with their kids and making sure that your security settings are, and if not, then maybe it's time to up them. Hey, Nick, happy work day. I mean, this is ridiculous. The flags are all, the flags are like standing straight out because the wind is crazy. And then I looked out earlier and it looked like white fluff everywhere. I was like, what the fuck? It's March. It's the first day of spring and we're getting snow. Okay.
Yeah, I got down to 49 degrees here in Florida last.
Hawkless, are you okay? Do we need to send you some blankets or space heaters or something? Are you okay? Like,
I'm okay. I actually turned off the AC.
oh, okay. Okay. Shit. 49 in Florida. Whoa. That's about leveling out with where I am. Like, I might have actually been warmer than you. We made it into the 60s.
Yeah, so the night before it got down to like 55, and then the day it got damn near 80 degrees.
Oh, welcome to
down again.
Things. We're about ready to come into the 3 seasons where you start off in we're in layer season currently. You start off with, sweats and a hoodie and sweatshirt and jacket, and you have to run the heater first thing in the morning. And then by midday, you're taking the jacket off and you're just wearing your hoodie. And then by middle of the afternoon, you're down to your t-shirt. And then by 4:30, 5 o'clock, you're starting to have to put your layers back on and turn the heat back on. Yes. That is the current. It is all about the layers right now. On a Nintendo Switch, Nick, if you were able to bypass, we don't know enough about a Nintendo Switch. So if you know about a Nintendo Switch, if you were able to bypass and get it online, could conversations be retrieved on a Nintendo Switch in Minecraft? That's the question, I think.
Well, didn't they do that in the Ganon stock case? Something with the Nintendo Switch, they could track it or do something with it. I know that was part of it, or they couldn't find it, and if it was on, they could track it or something. Something with the Nintendo Switch in that case.
Again, yeah, I don't. Dude, I got an Xbox 360 that was, I got an Xbox 360 that's like, it was a hand-me-down, and like I use it to play, what the hell is it called? Skylanders. But other than that, like I don't plug in it has one of those bar things, and no fucking way. Like one day I watched that bar like follow me across the house, and then the mic kicked on and it started recording, and that was the end of that. Like, nope, no more.
Oh wow. Yeah, I have an Xbox One. That's what I play. But it hasn't followed me around the room. But I have a Google Mini, and like if my TV's on and someone says Google too loud or something on the TV, it'll sorry, it didn't get that loud. I'm like, holy crap! Or it'll just out of nowhere, it'll say something like, dude, are you listening to my conversations and stuff? But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what the Xbox 360 was doing as well. Like you would start talking, and then all of a sudden, the mic you would see on the screen that it would go boop boop, and it would go from red to green, and it would sit there and light up and listen to what you were saying, and it would just randomly kick on at times. Like that lasted about a week, and after that, nope. Nope. It lost its internet connection. The bar got put in the closet. Like no. And now it sits in a closet or in a dresser in a garage. So like that damn thing. It is on punishment. It is completely restricted from nope, it doesn't even get a power cord.
Well, that's the telltale sign. If you pull the power cord, it still makes some noise or clicks or something, then you're in trouble.
Yeah, nope, they didn't do that. But like I said, after the first time that I went walking across the room and I watched that game bar, that you know what I'm talking about, the Xbox with the little eye thing that was an additional piece that would, and the first time that thing went, and then all of a sudden the mic lit up and started making its boop. Nope, that was the end of that. Like, no, you do not get power in my house anymore. Nope. Hey, Jamie, welcome in. No, like that's just parents, check your kids' devices every night. Every night. Pull them from your kids. Make sure that your security settings are good. Because like I know that one day I couldn't figure out the where I was staying. I couldn't figure out what the Wi-Fi password was. So like I YouTubed how to locate Wi-Fi password, because like my computer was connected to it, but I couldn't get my phone connected to it. And so anyway, there's a way that you can like there's a YouTube video that'll walk you through exactly how to connect and retrieve a password by going in onto whatever the router has. Like it walked me through all of it. I was like, oh, this is not cool. But I mean, if there's a will, there's a way. Right. I don't know. We had this conversation a while back, like when we were talking about kids and you know what do you allow your kids with, you know. I got a girlfriend whose little boy who's been begging his mom for a StreamYard account since he was 5. He's 8 now. So for 3 years they've had to be like, nope, you got to be 12, because of the games that he and his little buddies play. So I mean, I don't know.
Oh, check this out. So I'm house sitting for my brother-in-law, and the kid's computer's right there, and I just click on the thing. He's on Discord. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, this kid's 6 years old. He's on Discord. I'm like, hell no, dude. I'm like, that's the craziest shit I've ever seen.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, just imagine what you can click on. I mean,
dude,
oh my God.
These little Gen Alphas, they're a fucking different little species. Like, they're going to grow up with chat GPT, Packless. Like, we had an Encyclopedia Britannica and a damn card catalog and a microfiche machine. Those were the 3 pieces of technology, and the copier. You know, like that
you
was our
actually had to look it up and read it. Now you just sit there and someone tells you it. It does all the work for you.
Yes. AI is going to be the downfall of the world. Oh yeah, Pecan. That was kind of the response that I had when I text the teenager that I know. I'm like, hey, if you wanted to bypass your parents' security system around like internet and stuff, and she's like, don't tell anybody, but XYZ has access. I'm like, what? Yeah, it's super easy if they want to bypass it.
I gotta run. Thanks for having me up, Queen. Sorry to do that to you, voices. I don't know where Queen's at right
That's
now,
okay.
but
I'm good. I'm good. I'll help. I think I got this.
No, I appreciate it. I was gonna say I'm down to. I mean, I'm down to shut it down. This is our second live. This is the second live, anyways, and we've been on here. I got stuff I got to do, anyways. You know.
Okay, baby.
So
I didn't want to do that. I just had to go.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all hanging out and being up here and stuff and shit. We've been on here 2 hours, and this, like I said, this is our second one because we did the one on Riley earlier this morning. Shit, we had over 1,000 people in chat this morning, so we had a lot going on that live, and then this live here too. You know what I mean? So we've been on here 2.5 hours, and
we've done good work today.
In here, so we've had some long lives today. You know what I mean? A lot of people and stuff. So we'll chit chat here after a bit. I'm kind of tired, and I got stuff I got to do anyway. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging out.
Hey, you're
No
welcome.
problem.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. Thanks for having me too. See ya. Bye, chat.
All right, guys. We'll see you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you guys, and I will catch you on the flip side. I got a live set up later, so more than likely I'll see you guys tonight. We'll talk to you later.